You found your way to Whispers of Crimes, a quiet corner where the shadows of the past are gently told. Here, we speak of real crimes and mysteries, not to shock or scare, but to wonder, to reflect, and maybe to help you fall asleep. So close your eyes, let your thoughts slow down, and come with me into tonight's case. She was a rising star in Indian journalism, young, ambitious, fearless. Shivani Bhatnagar had powerful sources and secrets that could shake the corridors of power. But in January 1999, her life was brutally cut short in her own home. The investigation led to shocking revelations: a top police officer on the run, a web of conspiracy, and a murder that exposed the dark underbelly of power in India. 2 decades later, the truth remains clouded in controversy. Who killed Shivani Bhatnagar and why? The story you think you know is only the beginning. Chapter 1: A trailblazing journalist in a male-dominated world. In the late 1990s, Shivani Bhatnagar was a name that resonated across Indian journalism circles. Working with the Indian Express, one of India's most respected national newspapers, she had quickly earned a reputation as an ambitious, sharp, and diligent reporter. Her beat was political affairs, an arena not only dominated by men, but also riddled with complexity, patronage, and unspoken rules of power. Shivani stood out not only because she was a woman navigating this minefield, but because she didn't back down from chasing hard-hitting stories. She had studied in Delhi and was known for her intellect and integrity. Colleagues described her as methodical and meticulous. She had access to high-level sources, including politicians, bureaucrats, and insiders in India's corridors of power. Her bylanes increasingly appeared in significant stories, especially involving the functioning or malfunctions of the Indian bureaucracy. Shivani was respected, but also feared by some for the depth of her inquiries. Married to an Indian Revenue Service officer, Shivani appeared to have both a successful professional life and a steady personal one. She had given birth to a son in 1998 and was on maternity leave in early 1999. But maternity leave did not mean she had disconnected from her work or her sources. Shivani continued to meet informants and maintained her files, notes, and diaries meticulously. Few knew she was still quietly pursuing certain leads. Even fewer understood how dangerous one of those leads would prove to be. Chapter 2: A brutal murder in broad daylight. On the evening of January 23, 1999, everything changed. Shivani Bhatnagar, just 29 years old, was found murdered in her rented apartment in East Delhi's Indraprastha extension. The scene was gruesome. She had been strangled and hit multiple times with a blunt object. Her lifeless body was discovered inside the flat, while her infant son was found beside her, crying and unharmed. There were no signs of forced entry. Nothing significant appeared to have been stolen, though the scene had been deliberately disrupted. The initial assumption was that she knew her killer, perhaps even trusted them enough to let them in. This significantly narrowed down the scope of potential suspects and pointed toward a premeditated act. Delhi police began its investigation amid growing media pressure. Shivani's murder had shocked the journalistic community and raised alarms in political circles. It wasn't long before investigators found a set of clues that took the case beyond the realm of domestic crime. Among Shivani's personal belongings, including her diaries and call records, was the name of a senior officer in the Indian Police Service, R.K. Sharma. Phone records confirmed that R.K. Sharma, then serving as Joint Commissioner in the Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, had been in frequent contact with Shivani. But what exactly was the nature of their relationship? And why would someone of his stature be implicated in the murder of a journalist? Chapter 3: The rise and fall of R.K. Sharma. Ravikant Sharma, better known as R.K. Sharma, was a 1976 batch IPS officer of the Haryana cadre. At the time of Shivani's murder, he was posted in a central government role in Delhi. His career was marked by rapid promotions, and he enjoyed significant access to political elites. For years, Sharma had cultivated a reputation as a powerful and well-connected officer, particularly in the telecom and intelligence sectors. Investigators found that he and Shivani had indeed known each other closely. Reports later suggested that their relationship had extended beyond professional bounds. Some even described it as romantic, though there were conflicting accounts. According to police and the CBI, Shivani had wanted to distance herself from Sharma after their relationship deteriorated. There were also claims that she had been pressuring him to help secure a government flat, a promise he had allegedly made and failed to keep. Other theories hinted at something deeper. Shivani had access to sensitive information. It was suggested she may have uncovered something damaging to Sharma's career or others in the bureaucracy. Some speculated she was preparing to go public with damaging revelations. Whether the motive was personal, professional, or a combination of both, one thing became clear. R.K. Sharma was not just a person of interest. He had become the main suspect. But before the police could question him, Sharma fled. His disappearance only deepened suspicion and triggered a nationwide manhunt that lasted over 2 years. Chapter 4: A murder planned like an operation. As police investigated deeper, they uncovered a chilling murder conspiracy. R.K. Sharma, according to the Central Bureau of Investigation, had not committed the murder himself. Instead, he had orchestrated it meticulously using a network of hired criminals. The investigation revealed a disturbing trail. Sharma had allegedly contacted known criminals in Uttar Pradesh and Haryana to carry out the job. One of the key accused was Pradeep Sharma, a gangster from Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh. Alongside him were Satya Prakash and Sri Bhagwan, both with criminal records. These men, prosecutors later argued, were recruited to carry out Shivani's murder under Sharma's instructions. Testimonies and forensic evidence indicated that they had entered her apartment, murdered her, and ransacked the scene to make it appear like a robbery gone wrong. The CBI reconstructed the timeline meticulously. It showed that the killers had coordinated their movements based on Shivani's availability. Her flat was monitored, and they entered at a time they knew she would be alone. The killing was brutal, suggesting rage but also precision. They didn't harm the child, didn't linger longer than necessary, and left few physical traces. With Sharma still on the run, the arrested suspects confessed and gave details of how the plan was executed. Their statements, combined with call logs and circumstantial evidence, formed the backbone of the prosecution's case. But the public and media pressure mounted daily. Everyone wanted to know, where was R.K. Sharma? Chapter 5: The Manhunt and Dramatic Surrender. From 1999 to 2002, R.K. Sharma managed to stay ahead of law enforcement. Reports emerged of sightings in various parts of India, Maharashtra, Punjab, even Himachal Pradesh, but he consistently evaded capture. Theories flourished. Was he being sheltered by political allies? Was the delay in his arrest deliberate? Finally, on September 27, 2002, Sharma surrendered to the police in Ghaziabad, Uttar Pradesh. The manner of his surrender was telling. He did not want to be arrested in public. The event made national headlines. After years of eluding the law, one of the country's most wanted men was finally in custody. During questioning, Sharma denied all charges. He claimed he was being framed, targeted by rivals, and betrayed by former associates. His defense argued there was no direct evidence linking him to the murder, but prosecutors believed otherwise. With Sharma in jail and his alleged accomplices already charged, the stage was set for one of the most watched criminal trials in Indian legal history. Chapter 6: Trial, conviction, and controversy. The trial began in earnest in 2003 and lasted for 5 years. Prosecutors presented a strong case backed by circumstantial evidence, witness testimonies, and phone records. The defense, however, argued that all evidence was indirect and that the confessions of co-accused were inconsistent and unreliable. In March 2008, the verdict was delivered. R.K. Sharma was convicted of criminal conspiracy and murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment alongside Pradip Sharma, Satya Prakash, and Sri Bhagwan. The court ruled that while Sharma may not have physically committed the murder, he was the mastermind who had ordered it and arranged every detail. The conviction was hailed as a landmark moment. It showed that even high-ranking officers could be brought to justice. But it also raised questions. Was this justice delayed? Why had it taken nearly a decade from the murder to sentencing? And were there other names more powerful, more protected, that had never come up in court? Sharma appealed his conviction, and the case moved through India's complex judicial hierarchy. For years, it lingered in legal limbo. Then came a development that reignited debate and angered many who believed the case had already been closed. Chapter 7: Acquittal and Lingering Questions. In October 2023, over 2 decades after the murder of Shivani Bhatnagar, the Delhi High Court overturned R.K. Sharma's conviction and acquitted him of all charges. The court ruled that the prosecution's case was built entirely on circumstantial evidence, and there was no direct proof linking Sharma to the crime. The acquittal stunned Shivani's family and colleagues. Her husband expressed disbelief and frustration, stating that the verdict amounted to denial of justice. Many journalists felt betrayed by a system that had initially promised accountability but had seemingly backtracked in the end. The court emphasized procedural lapses and inconsistencies in witness testimonies. It also questioned the reliability of co-accused confessions and found that the timeline provided by the prosecution did not eliminate reasonable doubt. With Sharma now a free man, many wondered, was justice ever served? Today, the murder of Shivani Bhatnagar remains a symbol of how dangerous journalism can be when it threatens powerful people. Her case highlights the vulnerabilities of whistleblowers, the sluggishness of India's legal system, and the unsettling reality that those in power can often manipulate the very systems meant to hold them accountable. Despite the verdict, Shivani's legacy endures. Her courage, her commitment to truth, and her tragic end continue to inspire journalists to pursue truth, even when the risks are unimaginable. That's all for tonight's story. Another thread in the web of true crime, quietly unraveling as the night goes on. If you're still with me, thanks for listening. And if sleep has already taken you, may your dreams be peaceful and your mind at ease. I'll be here next time by the fire with another story waiting to be told. Good night, and don't forget to lock your doors.